press T. T. Keep pressing T. Okay. See it? There we go.
Is that a good one?
Let me see.
Softly. You can bend this arm like this. Yeah.
Close to your head like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like a.
Hello?
Okay.
So press R for me. Keep pressing R.
Oh yeah. Is it gonna close? Just careful with the charger.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Did you smoke a cigarette?
Yeah.
Or let's keep it cracked.
Let's crack the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are we started?
Yeah, we've been.
Oh, we're
rolling.
going.
Yeah,
We've
we're
been
already
going.
rolling, yeah.
Oh.
Bum. Okay.
Okay. So here we are. Are you? How do you feel, Dad?
Feel pretty good.
Are you nervous at all?
Honored.
Finally, this is long awaited for you. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Some upset nights because it hasn't been sooner. Or first,
Not upset, lonely.
so for the camera, people aren't gonna pay to see this, but they might. Because we just started putting, as you know, putting stuff on YouTube. And then, so I just want to say this is my dad, everybody.
Well, not just his dad. It's Amanda's dad too.
Amanda's dad too.
Our dad.
Our dad. This is Dad. This is Big Chris, as everyone knows him as. But we've talked about Dad before, right, guys, on the podcast?
Yeah.
There's been some mentions. There's been I don't think I told any stories about you yet. So this is kind of going to be a discovery for everybody else.
Should I go back and listen to him first?
I wouldn't want you to.
Okay.
This whole time
Clean slate.
because it's been a year of podcasting and I've been always been hesitant to tell you to listen. Not hesitant. I've just been kind of not so talkative about when it comes to podcasting.
Yeah, it's making like some kind of weird feedback noise. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just that we've had a podcast and I've been nervous every time a podcast gets brung up. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I'm just like,
No, actually, I've listened to a few of them.
yeah,
It's pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you.
nice.
I like it.
Because
I mean, as far as podcasts go.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. But
No, great job.
yeah, I've been excited.
I am honored.
We've been wanting to start a sports one.
Yes.
Was one that we've been wanting to do for years. As around the same time Rob moved here, because we would always say we need to start a sports podcast, and Rob was always down too. And we can still do that.
Obviously, yeah.
We could, if this works out, as Rob was saying, if this goes smoothly and everything runs perfectly, which so far it is, this could be the studio, this room. Yeah. This is your house.
A little bit of rent. A
So.
little bit of studio
Well,
rent.
once this Patreon,
Sign up for that Patreon.
yeah,
so
sign up. We created
I
a
don't have to
Patreon.
break that shit down all the time.
So we created a Patreon. People pay $3 a month to hear us talk. So
And they pay?
some have,
Some?
yeah. We've made like $9 $8 last month or something like that. Yeah, or transferred to my account, which I'm gonna have to disperse that within 3.
Let's just let that build up.
So I have $8. We've made $8 from the Patreon, and then
How?
there's some people subscribe. Bro.
Oh, I'm saying they must take a fee. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like
It's
$8.
just $3. I was like, how is it $8? They take a fee. Okay, that makes sense.
And so yeah, once that builds up, hopefully, and it's so far it is. Me and Rob and Menda were just talking that ever since we started putting stuff up on YouTube, people have been reaching out. People are like, I love the way it looks. I just got a haircut from Fonzie today, and he was like, I watched all of them, all 3 of them, and he loved it. He was like, it's super good. You get like, he was mainly complimenting Rob. He's like, man, I miss Rob. I miss talking to him. And
No, it's you hear it. It's like chemistry going on, just talking shit, and then you guys throw some
knowledge.
knowledge in there, and it's like, wow.
But well, I've been wanting to have you on. What we planned on talking about was the Tony Hawk HBO documentary, the one that you chose to. You said I want to be on, and we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, what was it? Or the Bones Brigade one that we've watched a million times.
Yeah, the autobiography. Did you guys ever watch it?
No,
It's super good.
not that.
It's so what you could explain everything as far back in history as you want to go of your love for that documentary.
Excuse me.
And skateboarding in general.
Yeah, that's what I said. As far back as you want to go. Oh yeah, the microphone.
What?
Good talking to the mic.
Oh no, I can hear.
Okay.
It's picking up. Everything's picking up. Everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear it, yeah.
No, I wanted to talk about it to like mainly get like your guys' feedback on it.
Okay.
Because like the way it's presented, you know,
Oh that's my bad. That's my bad.
the way it's presented, you know, they put it out there, and then you younger generation, you put it on, and you're like, oh shit, that's cool. I just wanted to get, because when I see it, it was cool to me back then, but
You were
it's
living it.
it's just not. It was never really like, oh my god, that's cool shit back then.
Because it's
like,
skateboarding. Like it
it's
wasn't
skateboarding.
cool.
Well, no, you got to realize,
necessarily mainstream.
like if we talk about the Tony Hawk one, I mean,
Or-
let me ask you, and if you watched it too, what was your takeaway from it?
It gave me, because everybody knows who Tony Hawk is. He's like the Michael Jordan of skateboarding. Like he's just the face of it. And seeing that side, because I always like knew it, but like as far as that amount of depth, like having an entire documentary, like 2-hour documentary on him was very insightful. And it was just like, whoa, like I didn't know it was all of that.
No,
You know
I
what I mean?
agree. There's like deep shit in there. I'm like, wow, this dude was kind of an asshole too.
Yeah.
But you got to realize back then that he was the worst one. It's
Everybody
like,
hated him.
What a
Yeah.
puss.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what I got from I was like, man, they did not like him for like 20 years.
I didn't like Tony
Yeah,
Hawk.
and it was like you'd be like, oh, Tony Hawk, because he was on every fucking cereal box, his
Video games.
You could buy his T-shirt.
Oh, he was like a
And-
sellout to you guys.
Kinda, yeah, and he just
He
wasn't.
was
that,
just like the preppy. He was the one who
Yeah.
wore the elbow pads and helmet and knee pad. Like he wasn't.
Yeah.
He just was never the. And that's how I always viewed him.
Yeah.
In my head, he was the one who had the video game. You know what I mean? Like he was just.
Tony Hawk, like my little fingerboards and stuff like that. But I mean, like back then, it was kind of the same. You were like, what a puss. You know, this-
Yeah.
you know, he's not hardcore. He wasn't this, but.
And he was kind of the one who did not created it, but innovated, or he was a pioneer of like the half pipe.
No. I have to say, if somebody brought money into it, it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X Games. The X Games skateboarding is because of him.
Oh yeah, that was so past me.
That
just
time that you were retired.
Yeah, it
Your
was
jersey
like,
was the raft.
Like no way. That's when your brother kind of
Oh yeah, like mid '90s, late '90s. Or that was like '95, right? With the first skateboarding like X Games.
94, 95.
Because seeing that, and that's why I told Didi to watch it too. He probably didn't watch it, but I told him to watch it in that opening of the documentary of him doing the 720 over and over and over again.
Well, see, it was a mix between him. I think it was to like show like how legit he was and what kind of person he was.
And that's what he said in the documentary. He always had that mentality of trying to prove himself. Like, oh, I am skateboarding. Like I am underground, I guess. I am punk.
Oh yeah, and at some point in time, he's like, "I'm the fucking best."
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Because there was that dude, I forgot his name, but the dude who lost his son.
Oh,
right after Tony Hawk lost his dad.
yeah.
And they did the competition, and
Oh wow, if you're gonna ask me for names,
I don't know nobody's names.
I'll find it.
because his view on it is kind of how everybody, I feel like that's how everybody was, where it's just like people were just talking stuff about him. And then like after that, or after that moment he had after his son passed away, and he talked to Tony Hawk after Tony Hawk's dad passed away, he found like a respect for him. He was just like, oh, the way he does his trick, like when you really see how Tony Hawk skateboards, you're like, that's hard. That's no one.
Oh yeah.
Not anybody can do that.
But you're thinking about this dude's got like 30 years of maturity.
Yeah, because he was like,
when
12?
you're like 19 years old.
Yeah, he was like Nigel Houston, Nigel Houston is like him when he started doing it when he was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I knew he started young, but I didn't know he was like 11 or 12 doing that. And when he was like, I always heard the story of like he bought a house. I heard he bought the house when he was like in high school, and then the downfall of skateboarding, and he had to get like a day job, and then was like, oh, we got to buckle down, we got to really get it going again. And he tried business attempts and failed, and then X Games came around, and he was like, oh, or no, like was it the X Games first, or was it the video game?
It was about the same time, because he started that Birdhouse.
The Birdhouse brand.
To try to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the X Games came and gained a little bit, and then he picked up on that.
Yeah, because the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I guess why we're talking about all this is, what was your point of view? You lived this. As far as like,
well, I would say,
or what skaters did you pay attention to? And then when skateboarding took that downfall and then got revamped with all the popularity through the video game.
Well, to like explain it, it's like skaters.
Like the parallel between
like being a skateboard. I'm gonna tell you, this is the honest God truth. These guys won't say. We were fucking nerds. You had, at that time, you had gangbangers. You had Boys in the Hood coming out. Gangster rap was just coming out. MC Hammer was. Yeah, I mean, you had Beastie Boys were out for a while. Praise them, they made white people cool then. I wouldn't have got your mama if it wasn't for Beastie Boys. I would have never been cool enough. But it was, everybody had a place. You had your jocks, and then you had your dancing, people who danced and people partied, and then you had your skaters.
They were like a...
No, nothing. You weren't light. Mm-hmm. You were a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a little skater punk. You get your hair in your face and roll around like a kid. And you just, it was kind of a lifestyle. So it was kind of like finding a place.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, you're a nerd. You talk shit. You maybe shower twice a week. You really don't. Your shoes. I mean,
all
it's
busted.
the only thing you could do where you can have holes in your shoes and you're cool.
Yeah.
Or you can wear a t-shirt, and a pair of shorts,
stretched out shirt.
Yeah, and your hair could be a mess, and it's like, wow, there was actually like chicks that were like,
yeah.
And then all you had to do was,
you all looked homeless. Everybody looked homeless.
Yeah.
Like, everybody looks like your parents don't love you.
yeah,
Hanging out at the park.
and I think that's what kind of made the
bond,
the bond, like, hey, we can do something. And then the skateboarding,
the competitions, and that's what kind of what I always got from it, where that's the only sport where you could, because it is a sport, because it's now, but seeing this, I remember talking to you about it, because obviously you used to skateboard, but seeing it become an Olympic sport now
crazy.
I would have never thought it would become an Olympic sport. But my point is saying there's no other sport where like you see the other competitors still helping,
Oh yeah,
cheering for the other competitors, and there's no real competitiveness There is, but it's not. There's no like, oh no, you suck, or like
No, it's one of those things where you
there's real
it's,
like
it's healthy competition.
yeah.
But at the same time,
there's camaraderie.
when you see somebody do some shit that you can't do or never saw before, you're just like, oh. You know, it goes from that dude's an asshole and
Like-
I'm gonna beat his ass to, dude, you are God.
Yeah,
You know, show me how you. What
like
can
that
we
was
do?
the McTwist for
Yeah, stuff like that.
for who made Lance
Mike
Mountain?
McGill.
Oh, Mike McGill. Because that was crazy seeing Tony Hawk do that or go for that in the documentary. Chasing that. He was like, I need to do the McTwist.
You always got to be the next one. You got to keep doing it, and you got to. Oh, I got to do that trick.
And that's like what drove the sport forward. It's always been just the new trick or the new skater, the new style. And also probably my favorite skater of all time is Rodney Mullen.
Oh yeah.
And the way he skated was
Yeah.
almost like, I don't even know how to describe it.
It was like, I think it was before its time. Even now, I think it's still
Like so ahead of his time. Because he didn't even skate.
Just
Like he didn't even roll around. He was in one place, and they said it in the Bones Brigade documentary, saying like how he figured out he can skate like on the side of it, on top, like on the bottom of it, and do like and put it sideways standing up, and like the way he would, it's crazy the way he's.
well, you know, like skating for me was like, okay, 25%. I don't know shit, and I don't have shit.
Yeah.
And the other 25% was, this shit's kind of cool, you know. And the other 50% was just trying to learn, trying to do that stuff. And that's what I said. It was such a like a lifestyle in its own little genre. That you could go out there and not do nothing, and you could try and try and try, and you're still cool. It's like, hey.
And I think that's why
I found like 6 things I could do, and I did that shit forever. And I just hung out, you know. And
that's really what skateboarding is. It's just hanging out.
Yeah.
The dude said, he was like, I just did the McTwist if I wanted to, like, at least place in the competition. He's like, I just do the McTwist. You know,
And then they were like, and the competition was like asking everybody, are you gonna do the McTwist? Are you gonna do the McTwist? And if you said no, you're not in the competition.
So you're like doing the same move obviously was like acceptable. Like, man, that's dumb.
Yeah, it was.
It's cool.
It was one up.
Yeah, people want to see you do the McTwist. Like if you can do it, you're cool. Like I think that's the coolest part of skateboarding is that everybody is just accept. There's no like negativity. There's no like get out of here, like whatever.
No, it was always, like I said, like that group.
And then as far as to bring this, because this is a movie podcast, bring this to movies. Me growing up, but Menda also being in the household, but obviously way older than me. Having those movies just come out on DVD. That is what we say all the time. I mention all the time the DVD, the massive DVD collection we had. Oh my God. It was huge. And the like Lords of Dogtown, the movie.
Yeah.
Grind, another movie we had.
Yeah.
That was a funny movie. But is like Lords of Dogtown probably your favorite skating movie?
I would say so, yeah. But I like Grind too. It's like I say, if you like that world, because to put Manda out there, Manda was out there during that time where it came up and then went back down.
Skater boy, see you later.
But
boy.
as you know, they were still there. You had your Uncool Kids group, and Manda was in there. It was like a little bit of it, but she kind of went. You were Social D,
Social Distortion,
you were girly Social Distortion, but then you were badass with the belt buckle. You know what I mean? But
Menda
then
had it
you
going.
were
I do remember that.
You know,
the belts with
and
the
I
holes
see that's why I
the
don't think you
holes.
can really like nail it down and just say, okay, I'm a skater dying, and that's it. I think that was where you could go off, you know. But then you could come right back into it.
Because there are, I bet, like subcultures, like
Yeah, exactly.
of skating.
We watched a lot of Jackass and watched a lot of Viva La Bam.
Viva La Bam, yeah, and playing the video games.
All the video games.
I think the video game is what brought like the world into skateboarding.
Yeah, how popular that video game got. It's crazy.
And I just don't know what it was about that game. I was like, I don't even skateboard, but I'm going to play the shit out of this game for the next 8 hours. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the first time I heard about any of those tricks, the ollie, the McTwist, the this, the that. I'm like, oh, like this is pretty daggone cool. And then finding out I thought it was just like a game. I didn't know those were real people. I had no idea those were real. I thought they were all made up. I was like, who the hell is Rodney Mullins? I don't know who that guy
Rodney
is.
Mullins,
Like,
I was confused. Like the beginning, like when I was young playing the video game, I thought all of these skaters were skating now. So when they had like Rodney Mullins, Stacy Peralta, Tony Alva,
Stacy Peralta, I played with him. Yeah.
and like all those people in the game, I was like, oh, they're all like the same age. But then I found out no, like Bob Burnquist was like in the
And then I was.
Didn't he have his own
Who
game?
the fuck is Bucky Lassick? You know what I mean? I don't know this guy. You know, and then I kind of like, I call that like the tech deck.
The
era,
yeah.
where it was like, wow, I don't know these, and that's when your brother was
getting into it, yeah,
find his way into it, and I was just like, oh, I'm too old for this shit. I gotta go to work. Yeah,
I can't break myself.
We can't start this again.
Because Josh's dad, you know, Josh is on the podcast. Josh,
he was on it.
He was on it twice.
Oh wow,
twice, right?
Twicey.
So Josh came twice.
We had to get him while he was here.
Titi's been on it twice.
Fuck him too.
Angelo's been on it twice.
Yeah, Angelo's
Every
don't know
guest.
Angelo, but
You've never met Angelo?
no.
Isn't he? He's later friend group, isn't he? Like post.
Not too late. He's been
post
around.
The partying phase.
No, he was in the middle of that.
Oh, okay.
Because Fonzie and Angelo are best friends.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
But Angelo was on twice. But now you know you can come on whenever you want. I've been telling you.
Oh,
this.
I will.
Like you could, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. And as far as, so you could explain to the people, you buying the DVDs, because the DVD collection is almost a legend in this podcast. Like it's a store, you know.
Yeah, it's mentioned very often.
And so, as far as you buying them, us going to Blockbuster, or your method of buying, like what made you buy a lot of the movies you got, or rent them from Blockbuster when it was a thing? Redbox.
Don't say nothing. Everybody shut up.
The cabinet full of Redbox cases.
Everybody shut up. Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let your mom hear that.
Are you gonna take these back?
I remember I showed up and I was like,
why do we have a $67 charge from Redbox?
Amanda, I tell you, when I showed up to your house the first time, I said, why are there 60 like Redbox cases here? Aren't you guys renting these? Amanda was like, no, my dad just doesn't return them.
Nah,
she was like, that movie costs $40.
It's crazy. But like, when did you start buying DVDs? Like, did you start buying DVDs when they just started making DVDs?
No. This one right here should remember VHS.
Yeah.
I think it started like your grandma with.
She had VHS.
VHS. You had Beta.
She's the only reason I know what a VHS is, because we would watch all the Christmas movies.
Oh yeah.
She had all the Disney
All the Disney movies.
The Disney. Oh.
All the Harry Potter, most definitely. Yeah.
But no, it just started liking movies. Liked them. I want to see them.
What was the first movie you saw in theaters?
It was Star Wars.
The first one?
The very first one at the, what was it? The amphitheater. The original.
The one in Mesa?
I think it was. The
Is it
one
still
where
there?
it's one big screen. No, they tore that down.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Many years ago.
Mesa's new.
Well, see, we were just a Blockbuster movie family.
Yeah.
And we were a drive-in movie family. So
Driving's lit.
Star Wars came out.
We
boom.
saw Black Panther at the drive-in.
We sure did.
Star Wars came out, boom, we were on it. Empire Strikes Back, boom, we were on it. Return of the Jedi.
You saw all the original trilogy in theaters?
Star Trek. Wrath of Khan.
Wrath
Were the
of
movies
Khan.
just crazy back then? Like, was it stupid? Was it like Black Panther was, where like people were dressing up in like Star Wars attire?
No. I mean, there was a lot of people, but
It wasn't like nerding out yet.
no,
Wasn't a
not
thing
yet. I mean,
Like Indiana Jones and stuff.
Indiana Jones.
You saw all those?
All the cool
Yeah.
movies from the 80s.
But see, we only went to like the Rockies.
Oh,
We go see Rocky.
man shit. Yeah,
that would be
man
crazy.
stuff.
I can't imagine seeing that when it comes out. That'd be sick.
But that was it. These other movies, we had no cable.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Everyone watched the same show.
Mm-hmm.
There was like
Blockbuster wasn't even. I don't think VCRs were even happening
Like
yet.
super common. Like in the late 80s.
late
It
early
wasn't even
90s.
super common when I was a kid.
Yeah, it wasn't super
even-
common.
yeah.
It wasn't really. When did Blockbuster start blowing up? Like becoming a thing that everybody went to.
I think early '90s
I say early 90s.
because we couldn't do shit because we had Manda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why we were watching movies. My mom had 2 kids. We were sitting right
So-
there in that house. Yeah.
It was like, oh shit, it's payday.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Got
I
this
remember.
check for $230.
$7 movies. That was a lot of money back
I'm
then.
gonna go. We're gonna go rent like a $2.50 couple Blockbuster movies and just stay up all night.
Yeah.
And then
That's
order
really- I
some,
remember, yeah.
Little Caesars, Peter Piper, something like that, and that was it.
Cheapest family night all time.
Every
Ever.
single time. Till this day.
Yeah. I mean, we would go to Blockbuster even when we were older.
Yeah.
Fridays.
Until I was like 10, 9
Oh,
or
we
10.
lived there.
We lived right across the street from one.
I mean, we were literally there. Didn't you get like fingerprinted and
What?
Oh, that was Hollywood Video.
was that Hollywood Video?
Where we made the videos.
It was
The
during the
Blockbuster.
time like mid '90s, wasn't it? When like kids were getting kidnapped forever. So
What?
It's like they're having fingerprint, and oh my god, they take videos. I said, okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So they took him and they sat him down, and Christopher's like, "Hi, my name is Christopher." So like
They
if you-
did that?
If
Yeah.
It's like a loss prevention video. You can play it on the news if the
Yeah.
kids sing.
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite
yeah, and then you
That way
talk.
if somebody comes walks up to you and says, "Hey kid, what's your favorite color?" and you go blue, they're like, "Oh, you must be that kid from TV."
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah,
Why don't
And
they still do that?
fingerprints.
Yeah.
We have Amber Alert now.
Yeah.
You just get the boop boop boop.
I
on
just
your
got
phone.
we just got one downtown. There's
It's
some
terrifying.
Well, see, I'm lucky. I never got kidnapped because all we had is like a fucking milk carton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you seen me?
Yeah, the milk carton. I was just watching Halloween Kills, and I was like, "Hey, that's not a thing anymore."
Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we saw that together.
Yeah,
Halloween
we
Kills.
went to the
We went to the
theater.
movie. We saw that in theaters.
Did you see the original? No, but that came out before,
Halloween
like the
2.
year you were born, right?
No.
Yeah.
The original Halloween.
No, I didn't see it.
Because that came out in like 78.
Yeah.
You were like
Ne-
super young.
Super. I was gonna
Never-
say when you were like, that's why I was like born at least.
Never watched it until like I was in high school.
Why? Because you're
It
scared?
just wasn't available.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
plus, I
yeah,
really
yeah.
wasn't like scary movies.
Oh, you were. What kind of movies were you into as far like from in high school? Like what was your your thing?
What were your high school years? Maybe that's a better like. What,
Yeah,
you
give
from what
people-
years
people
to
don't know how
years?
old you are.
86 to 89.
86 day. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Dang.
Oh yeah, that's like prime movie
That's
time.
like movies.
Well, we
Those are like my movies.
we stood in line for the big Batman premiere.
Oh
So opening night, we were in line for that.
That's crazy.
It's like when y'all used to get cool stuff. Like you go to the movie stand, you go to the concession
And you
stand,
would get,
and you
like-
get like a Batman cup, and then you get like a tin of this, and then the ticket's cool. We don't get none of that.
They
shit
just
anymore.
did that with the new Sonic movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I should say, we just went to the movies to go see Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I asked them if they had the Sonic cup. And they're like, no, we all sold out. I'm like,
Of course they are.
that was a grown man asking for
No,
us.
yeah, because that stuff you realize, like I'm sure you know now, like a lot of that stuff, you're like, if I would have just bought one of those for $3 back in the day, somebody spending $250 for
Yeah,
some
memorabilia.
stupid McDonald's toy or
My
something.
mom's got one somewhere. it's in a box.
In a box somewhere.
in
Yeah.
a chair, something somewhere. But No, it was, we had the Batman. That's when it really started like, oh. And then I was old enough I can go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, wow. And then we had makes all the Breakfast Club movies. What's his name?
John Hughes.
Yeah. So that was the best shit ever. Was, I mean, now I watch them, to be honest with you. I watch them now. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. This is so not cool. But back then,
yeah.
it was
It's
like,
new. Yeah.
oh, yeah. I saw Breakfast Club, and I'm like, holy shit.
Did everybody get like a
That
duster
was-
coat after that? Like the
Oh,
long
yeah.
trench coat?
Everybody wore the scarf and the fingerless gloves.
Go
Right.
running through the hall and shit like that. And then
What was Ferris Bueller? What year did Ferris Bueller come out?
that was...
That was late 80s too.
86.
Did it?
Oh, wow.
ah,
You didn't see it? No.
Nah.
No.
What about Pretty in Pink
Pretty in Pink, yes.
with what's her Molly Ringwald?
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah. She was I heard she was like the it girl in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Like Molly Ringwald, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing her.
Robert Downey Jr.
Original Robert Downey.
Coked
out.
He did a movie.
When he was fun.
What was the movie?
Cobra. Sylvester Stallone.
I can't remember. Robert Downey Jr.
Less Than Zero?
The Pickup Artist.
Oh.
Great movie.
I never seen that.
No.
You
But
showed me when I was little, you showed me Less Than Zero.
excellent movie.
That was like 90s though, I think.
No.
Was it 80s?
Yeah.
Oh. I remember you showed me a long time ago Less Than Zero. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, it's the phones. When you guys put your
Oh,
phones close to
it's-
the mic, you can
that's
hear when
weird.
it's doing like, you can hear that she's looking up something. It starts to like,
Oh, yeah. Less than zero was 1987.
Ooh.
lit.
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was like 91 or something.
Uh-huh.
Dang. But
You see that picture, then we saw him die as Iron Man. That's crazy.
what about like Sylvester, like Schwarzenegger, Stallone,
Rocky, Over the Top.
Over the Top? You showed me a lot of, because of the DVD collection.
Yeah.
As a kid, you would just have these movies on. Like Cobra is one of my favorite ones. But
Oh, that was an excellent.
I watched it not that long ago, and I was like, oh, this is like, you know how people make fun of the 80s action movie star? And, you know, or
Yeah.
it's like kind of the sunglasses, the cool guy, he has the cool one-liners. That's Cobra. Like, it's a real movie. It's not just something people make up and exaggerate. Like, Cobra is the exaggeration
Well, I have
of
to
all
say,
the 80s action movies.
to us, good movies, like when I was growing up, when you left the theater and you wanted to kick somebody's ass
Yeah.
because you just saw Cobra or I just saw Rocky, you know, and you were like, let's do this shit.
Like the Expendables.
We
Right.
just saw.
I mean, you walked out and your chest was out and you were like
I'm gonna beat
180 in this shit, 360, right? Like you were just waiting. You wanted to come out like you were.
So
the shit out of
me and
somebody.
Tatiana just saw Ambulance in theaters, the
You
new Michael Bay, and we went to Arizona Center. We parked at the garage top floor, and we walked out the theater. And I got in the car, and I started just
See, and that's what it was like then.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
what it did to me.
I walked
I
out
was
of
like, this is an
Cobra,
80s action movie.
and I was like, you know what? I want a 49 Merc right now. And I must have walked around with a fucking match hanging out of my mouth.
The match thing. I tried the match thing for a
For
long
fucking ever.
time.
But see, that's how we did movies. Is like you would go see Star Wars. We went and saw Star Wars, and you come home, and you're like, "Mom, can I play outside?" Yeah. And you went to Tony's house on the corner, and then they saw Star Wars, and then
You
we
guys
were
saw
like
Star Wars?
fucking playing Star Wars in the alleys, up the trees,
Like nerds.
See that you're Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's like
That's you
that was
become.
movies for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
You know, now it's kind of like, you know.
People don't get
It's so easy. Yeah.
Fucking Spider-Man, you know. You don't want to come out and like web fucking
As a-
sock somebody or
as a 30-year-old man.
hit somebody
Yeah.
with a fucking hammer. You know? I don't. So it was kind of I guess it was more realistic. Plus special effects sucked.
Yeah.
So
But back then they had to look amazing.
You had
it was
to
like,
do-
holy crap. It had to look good.
Mm-hmm. But
it-
as far as like Terminator, like the impact of that movie,
Yeah.
or Terminator 2.
2 for sure.
What
was 2? 94, 92?
It was-
I think 2
that was the
92.
80s.
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
original.
one was the 88.
Well, shit was blowing up, so you're like, fuck, that's good.
It doesn't matter. I don't care what's happening.
I'm in.
Yeah.
There's explosions, Arnold Schwarzenegger, people getting shot.
Number 2 was 91.
91. Nice.
So it was.
It's just kind of like, I'm more of asking like how you're like, you just said it was Star Wars, but the impact of those hits, like the biggest movies of all time, you know what I mean, and how they impacted you. Like, did you like Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Like, or just
It was
everybody did?
at that time. I was still young, so it was more of a grown up movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
okay.
just fucking excited. I was
Like
able
a
to
part
sit
of
there
it.
and fucking okay. I'm watching this. You know.
Oh,
I'm
that's
watching,
right. Yeah.
I'm watching a grown up movie right now.
This
So,
shit rated R.
yeah.
But like, I guess for me, because I always grew up with friends who are like, "Oh no, that's a rated R movie. My parents don't allow me to watch that." I was always like, "What?" Like,
Here we go.
you know what I mean?
I always felt that way. You know what I mean? So if the kids are watching a movie, all right, and a lady changes her shirt, there's titties.
Yeah. No, we're good. That's not even the worst thing that's ever been said.
The joke she just made on the last episode.
She made fun of deaf people.
The joke in the last episode.
She was remember
let
that
me tell you
movie?
something, we're
She
not
made
done.
it, yeah, she made her speechless. I was like,
Where are we?
dude.
Where are we at, Linda?
38, 39.
Oh, we're just getting started.
Oh yeah, I got a couple. I want to cover this night, but it's just you're gonna see that,
Yeah.
you know,
Mom would be the one to cover the
and praise her and
She's going
bless
to
her,
heaven.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Saint Lydia.
it's to me it is what it is. Now if you try to hide, don't look. Now if you got and they're feeling and they're jumping and they're
Then
doing
it's
some
like-
stupid shit, yeah, let's kind of back off that action. But if they're breastfeeding, come on, you
That's
know.
life. That's nature.
Like stabbing is fine. I just don't want to see like them.
But yeah,
having, like,
even
mid-coitus.
as far as the violence, when people
That's it.
It's a movie.
That's
That's-
the same shit. If you're gonna cut people up and throw them in the forest,
because of a movie.
you're gonna do
You
that
were
shit
going to do
anyway.
that shit anyway.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
It just taught you how to do it. That's all it did.
Yeah, that just went. Oh, hey, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Other people do that.
Other people do this.
But
I'll be okay.
but yeah, like as far as like seeing Kill Bill when I was young, like there was no filter for me, I guess. But there is one scene I've told this story a couple times, I think, about. Remember that movie Eastern Promises with Viggo Mortensen,
Yes.
and the opening scene in the barbershop where the guy comes in with a razor and cuts the guy's throat. He like stabs the guy's throat and like.
Yeah.
I remember you guys rented that from Blockbuster when it came out in like 2007. And I walked in before that scene started. That's the beginning of the movie. And the guy walked into the barbershop and then cut it. And I was like, oh my, because it showed it. It wasn't like you just saw his body, covering it. It was like a up close, you see his throat getting stabbed and everything. It was crazy. And I remember seeing that and it stayed in my head forever. Still does.
How old were you?
Like 6.
That
2007.
yeah, maybe I should.
And
You were supposed to be in bed.
a few years ago, I watched that movie without even knowing, because I'd never remembered that movie. Like I didn't know the name of it. I only saw that scene and that scene only. I didn't know who was in it, and then that picture lived in my head.
I'm sorry.
And then I watched that. No,
I know.
and then I watched Eastern Promises a few years ago, and I was like, that's where it's from.
What fucked me up?
I was like, I found it. But as far as the violence was never like a problem, and I'm glad it wasn't. What I'm saying is, I'm glad that you weren't like, no, rated R. You need to stick to PG-13. You know what I mean?
Well, you figure movies are movies. Now, if I subjected you to a violent household or violent environments in kind of, you know, that raw ass shit where, hey, this is our friends right here, and like, oh wait, he let him stab that dude in the throat real quick, and then we'll go talk to his son. It to me, a movie was a movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Being able to make that discernment.
But I'm sorry.
No. I like it. Like I'm kind of glad I have that because it was a crazy discovery. It blew my mind. It was one of the craziest moments ever because I was like, that picture was always. It sounds like I'm traumatized when I'm. But like I always had that. I was like, what movie is that? I never knew what movie that was, and then I watched it, and that part came up, and I was like, it was perfect. It was.
For me, that movie is Fear. When they threw the dog's head.
Oh, I wouldn't watch that shit.
What is Fear?
With Mark Wahlberg.
With Mark Wahlberg, Fear.
You've
That didn't help
never
me,
seen the fucking peephole scene?
Mm-mm.
You never seen Fear?
Mm-mm.
That seems like a movie you would like, though.
Probably, yeah, but it sounds like it.
Like walking into your room, and it was the part where the dog's head went through the doggy door,
Yeah.
and I was like,
You never
I
seen
gotta go.
You never seen it, Fear, where she's like ding donging on the doorbell and she's looking through the eye and he's like, hey, hello, let me in. And then he's like, let me in. Like psycho crazy.
The dog scene is starting to pop into. My mom probably told me to get out. If the movie was on, she was probably like, no, my mom didn't let me watch. She was like, get out. And so I probably saw that and was just like, nah,
But
no,
I
my
did-
mom ain't gonna let me.
I remember the scene, and then I don't remember like what it was from until I actually watched the movie, and I was like, oh, it's this movie.
It's so crazy to when stuff like that happens.
I mean, like Halloween and Michael Myers.
Hilarious.
Do you want to
Hilarious.
my history with Michael Myers?
No, I already fucked you up enough. So let's not go to Michael Myers.
Yeah, because Michael Myers
We had a whole episode on that.
pretty
On
much.
the Michael Myers?
Not
Oh,
on
yeah.
the thing, but on the movie.
We talked about
Tortured. Is that the camera?
Yeah.
Yes, we tortured him with Michael Myers.
because
So bad that we had to keep the Michael Myers mask in the trunk of the car all year.
yeah, it was not cool. Because I remember
It was not cool that we even bought one.
no, because Titi, I don't know how old I was. I don't know how old Titi was, but we lived on Christown Manor, and we were gonna go trick or treat. It was Halloween, and I come outside. Titi's dressed up
As Michael Myers.
as Michael Myers, has the knife and all.
Perfect body structure for that too.
Yeah.
Like he's
Perfect.
tall and lanky. That's the perfect Michael Myers. Yeah.
He goes into complete, like, shutdown.
He just like.
Yeah, like, he's not going to say shit. He's this for 3 years. until he comes back. We're going to have to feed him with a fucking straw, and he's just not. It's going to take time for him to come back.
But now, like, horror movies are like my favorite movies. Like
You're the most fun movie.
now,
Yeah.
I love horror movies. They're the best. But before I couldn't handle it because of Michael Myers. It was what started it. And then I remember I only remember like I don't remember the day vividly or even that night, Halloween night vividly. I just remember walking outside, seeing Titi as Michael Myers, being terrified. I go back inside and it's Halloween and hockey is playing. And it's Halloween.
Just another mask.
The
on screen.
goalie is wearing the
There's a Michael
Jason
Myers.
mask.
He's tortured.
The goalie is wearing the Jason mask as
Hell
like
Night.
as like a costume. Like he's just doing it like, oh yeah, because it is a
We had
hockey
a big-
mask.
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Like we had the TV where it has the red, green, and blue lights behind it, and it's just shooting up.
It's like the TV shows where it's just like God, and it's just like stuff just keeps scaring this person.
And I'm just like,
He
oh.
twitched for like 6 fucking months, man. Like,
You'd be like, go in the closet. Go get
no,
that thing right there.
the dark was not my thing
Does
because
anything look like the hair? Oh, he lost.
you couldn't ring the doorbell because it's like got that ding and it's piss everywhere.
because
And then he
I
sees up.
what also did this for years was at grandma's house. You know that it's like a duster holder. And you know the thing that sticks out? It's the feathers, the black feather. It's like dark brown feathers. I always thought that was the mask. I always thought the little duster thing, it was sticking up. And I thought that was the hair sticking out of like a little holder thing.
You were like, if I pull on it, he's gonna come.
It's
up
just
and stab
boom.
me.
Yeah.
He's gonna come up and
I
kill
always
me.
thought the duster in grandma's house was the mask.
You walked in the hallway all
I was like,
strapped.
grandma's long hallway that didn't have a light in it. I always had to run back and forth between the hallways.
That's all you hear.
Because the computer room and then the living room, you just had to go down the.
Bathroom.
Yeah. It was scary.
Such a horrible human being.
No, but it was an interesting childhood. I'm glad I.
Oh, now we're going into childhood.
My
Hey,
childhood.
since we're going on horror movies, like scary movies,
Okay.
and we're talking about a movie show, can we talk about Midsummer?
Oh.
No, I'm glad we're on this.
The beef. The beef. Okay. What do you want to say?
Well, I just want to say that in my life,
Okay.
probably a few years from now,
Or like prep it.
let's just say, let's give
Preface.
me 20 years from now. All right. I got cancer and I'm gonna die. Okay. And I am 1 hour and 30 minutes away from getting the fucking cure, and I'm not gonna make it because I watched that fucking movie. I will. If I would have just not watched that fucking movie,
You would have all that time.
I would
back.
live for another till I was 170. That was the worst movie ever. And I only say that because how long did you tell me, hey, Dad, you going to watch this? You want to sit down and watch this? Hey, Dad,
For
Midsummer.
a while.
Great movie.
Because it came out in the middle of summer. And I remember once it came out like on Amazon, I was telling you, I was like, you got to watch it.
Oh, you
gotta
got to
watch it.
see this, Dad. You got to. This
It's
is
scary.
great.
I saw it in theaters. And this is what I was telling you. I watched the entire movie in theaters like this. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It was the scariest movie I've ever seen. One of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
We still talking about Midsummer?
I'm not, because I feel like you watched it while I lived here, and I remember seeing it. And I was like, this movie looks boring as shit.
You moved.
Oh God, it hurt. It was painful.
I
You know
think
what
it
the
was
first
on.
words? Me and Lydia watched it together. And my first words,
Yeah.
and her first words, here's movie credits. What the fuck is wrong with him? Okay, here's your mom. I don't know. And that was it.
Now you know.
No, because
Now you
I
told me
do
why.
I do remember you watching it. You took a break. You paused it.
But
You-
I
'cause you
only
were
got
watching it-
upset because you tortured me for like over a month. You're like, Dad, you got to watch it. Why can't you just watch it?
It
Just
was-
watch. Swear to God, watch it. It's like, Dad, no, it's great. Swear to God, watch it.
And because you were watching it in your room, and you paused it, and you went to go take a smoke break, and you and Mom were like, "I'm waiting for something to happen," and I was like, "Oh, they're not liking it." Oh, because you were like halfway.
Hurt.
You were like halfway
Yeah.
through the movie. You're like, "I'm waiting for something to happen."
But you know what? I toughed it out. And I watched it.
But you liked Hereditary, right? You remember Hereditary, the one with the girl?
Yeah, that was a
that
little
shit.
weird, but let's save that. It was the kid,
The kid.
okay?
The kid.
Let's not talk about that because that's horrible.
That was like this. That made it a scary movie. I said, "Oh, you just killed a child." Like that makes any movie
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is a rough movie."
Well, see, you need to explain my phobias.
Okay. Rob, get ready.
Is it hot in here? Man, we are gonna start talking about this.
Okay, here we go.
I have a phobia, and
Call
I
them
res-
LPs.
I respect all of you,
LPs.
and I'm proud of you. You know, and I'm about to struggle. I am. Anything I
proud
can
of
do
you.
to help. And then what? Please help me with the word.
Little people.
Okay, that's good. And the other one.
DS, like Down syndrome.
Yes. No, I'm just saying.
But there was one time, we were in, we were in public.
It's on YouTube, so let's just.
There was one time we saw a Down syndrome little person.
That was too
I
much for you
seized
to
up for
handle.
3 weeks.
I was like, that's too much for you to handle.
I was just for fucking 3 weeks.
You got dope
I didn't know what to
shitty
do. I did
hands.
not know where to run. You know when you're just like, fuck it, it's here it is. Take me. It's time. I'm fucking going. I couldn't even speak. I was like, what? My fucking antichrist showed up right there. Like, oh, I'm going now.
Yeah, it was. But as far as Hereditary, going back to Hereditary, the girl, she's not DS though.
No, she has a
Deformity.
She has a whatever the politically correct word for that is, deformity.
Yeah.
The
That-
politically correct word for that.
That's
People,
It's still defect.
because you can't say it's
That
a
she's
defective.
like they're a toy. That's derogatory now. She's other faced.
But they know it.
Does that work? Other faced.
I can't say it doesn't work.
me personally, I'll go with defective. I mean, the other face is a little.
90s.
Yeah.
Your answer.
You know, all I know is back in my day, you kept that. Went to dinner, not in a bad way, but you just. It was it was everybody's cross.
When
to
I
bear.
was in middle school, you just call them a sped because they're in special ed. You just call them
Not gonna lie, that sounds way better.
sped.
Sped.
A sped.
Because you are in special education.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, like he's
Sped.
he's a sped.
Spe-Destrian.
Pedestrian. Not bad. That's the name of the episode.
Spe-Destrian.
No, but Hereditary
I'll
was
stick with other face.
Other faced. On Hereditary, the other face girl. Yeah.
the other face girl was a little alarming. It was like, whoa, he really got this person in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Skeletal condition.
Skeletal conditioning moment.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
in the movie, it said that they made her look worse.
Yeah, because if you see her, in real life, she doesn't look that bad.
She's not that fucked up.
You know, I'm not. Did y'all ever see Scary Movie, whatever the
3?
Was it the one where she was like, oh no, that's just his face when they took the picture from the ring? You remember the ring pictures? If you took a picture on the ring, the face would be twisted in the photo. And then in Scary Movie 3, she was like, no, that's just his face. That's what her face reminded me of a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't even look at the face for that long.
Yeah, it's just.
Let's just go ahead and move off of this.
Yeah.
But I don't think well, let's get. I think we pumped the brake. It's not. It's. I have a. I worry too much that I will offend.
Yeah.
That's a
big
fair
thing.
anxiety. That's a fair. I'm the same way. I'm
You
not gonna
know-
even look at you because I don't want to offend you.
Yeah.
He's like, did you see? Did you see?
You know, and I'll tell a story.
Because we'll be in Walgreens, and there will be a little person in one aisle, and then Dad will be walking. He'll look down the aisle, see a little person, and come back to the aisle where.
But you know what my fucking phobia is that I'm gonna need something that's right there on the top shelf, and then it's like I need it, and he or she is right there, and it's like, do I reach over? Or is that fucking rude? But
That's
you're down there.
Fair anxiety.
Okay.
I never thought.
I just walk out of the house. It is rude. I would never do that. I'm like, I'll just wait until that person leaves. I feel you on that. Yeah.
I never thought about that, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get that, and I just don't want this.
They
normal
look,
and
up,
you're
they
going,
look up at you and they're like, what the
oh, you
fuck,
couldn't
dude?
have fucking made. And then you're like, well, I'm fucking sorry. And it's like, fuck you, bro. And it's like, oh, God, do I have to fight this guy?
I heard they can fight really well, though. They have a low center of gravity.
See, so I don't want, I'm going to tell you a story, okay? And your mother was there.
All right.
Okay, we're in a Walmart, all right? And
They're all there.
We're going to a fucking checkout.
Yeah.
Okay, we get in line, and this is a prime example of how much I care. Okay.
All right.
Is we get in line and we empty the rack and your mom says right here and I look and it's a, what do we call him?
Little person.
Little person standing on a stool and she's working the register.
Oh.
Now I'm going to ask you guys, quick question. What do you think if the first thing came to my mind?
If she falls, she's gonna hurt herself.
No, I'm paying with cash. I'm dying. I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna give her 20 and she's gonna give me fucking
96 cents.
$6.90 fucking cents.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like 3 fucking quarters way too much. And I don't know what to do. And it's like we should have never got in this line. And then she was rude on top of it.
That's
so thank
the
God
worst.
for that.
Fair enough, though.
Because that made me feel, but that was my phobia.
Mm-hmm.
Was like, first thing, oh God, she's gonna have a handful of change. And then I'm gonna be too fucking fucked up to help her because I've done enough. And
Oh my God, like Vern Troyer falling off the scooter thing.
so see, that's my thing. It's like if I don't put myself in that situation, I'm okay.
Yeah, you just completely avoid it.
I just completely, because I just don't know if I'm gonna insult somebody.
That's fair.
Makes
know what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's
That's
not a
fair
like
anxiety.
it's not like you're like
No, I don't like you little bastards.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do that. It's like,
or it's
you
not
know,
like when you talk to them you bend down on your knees.
it's like, because I look at it from my standpoint. I'd be checking out at the register and it's like, oh, really? You're gonna give me a fucking 20? Do you see my hands? I can fit fucking 15 cents.
you would like
motherfucker.
if you were a little person.
Yeah, and I'm
you
gonna
would
be like, really?
And
And then,
imagine them counting change out of the thing, the little scoopy thing.
They gotta
And they gotta do that.
you know, and then, hey, nice to meet you. It's like, do I fucking go down?
Yeah. You.
Oh, you don't have to bend down. I can reach. Or if you go, hey, what's up? And it's like, really, dude? I'm fucking down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just won't talk to you.
Avoid you at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember there was the AMC
Holy crap.
Arizona Center?
He's just jumping.
Yeah.
The AMC.
Hey, you guys want this guy?
All right. Moving on. What are we talking?
I don't know.
What are we gonna talk about
What
now?
movies recently have you seen?
Yeah, what
that
have you?
liked?
What's the last good movie
like
you've
recent
seen?
movies?
New movies.
That you were like, yeah, that's a good movie.
You're like, wow, that was actually pretty cool.
Like, what have we watched?
I can't think.
Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah. Scott Conn. You watched all the NCIS. For all of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
NCIS.
All 3 cities.
All the NCIS, not all of Hawaii. Are you done with Hawaii Five-0?
No, season 10.
And what about we could talk, since we started with documentaries, like other documentaries like 30 for 30s. We just watched the 42-1.
Yeah.
That one is...
That was pretty good.
That one's really good. That one was up there as far as one of my favorites. Another one was the 4 days in October.
4 days in October is really good.
That's because that's history.
We just had this conversation too about the 85 Bears.
The 85. Yeah, we were all talking about that
85
because that
Bears.
one.
Junior Seau. 30 for 30.
Did you guys ever watch 30 for 30s ever? No. Because those
Any basketball, any Bulls, any one with basketball, I watch.
like the Bad Boys.
Yeah, the Bad Boys.
That
That's
was
the one
good
I
one.
watched.
That
for
one's
sure.
so good.
That's the most. I think that's probably the most popular one. The one with the Bad.
The Bad Boys is
The one with the Pacers. I watched that one.
Reggie or
About
Winning
the,
Time.
Malice in the Palace.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That was Netflix, I think.
They did. That was still 30 for 30, right?
No, that was just a Netflix one. I watched that one.
Yeah, that was the one. I thought that was 30 for 30.
And that one we watched, the Crimes and Penalties one, the one about the hockey team.
Oh, the kid that the dad bought the kid a hockey team.
And he ran it, and they were like good.
Yeah.
He created like a Bad Boys of Hockey. That one was crazy. I wish they would make that into a movie. Like, you know.
No, that you could actually pull that one off.
That would be crazy. But other than like that, or any movie you've seen recently, like that you think we were like, wow, that really caught you not off guard, but you were just like, oh, I actually really like that. You know what I mean? Because what did we watch? Have we gone to the theaters lately? You saw Spider-Man, right? The new Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the new
What
one.
did you think of that? Are you excited?
That's pretty good.
And-
I think it was a filler, a setup for the new Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Are you excited for the new Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah. I'm just waiting for him to start popping off again, so shit gets fired up again.
Yeah. What is that?
Timer. It was a timer.
Oh, it was a timer. I was like, what? But
Michael Myers.
that's what.
It made me sweat a little bit. I was like, "Where's that coming from?"
Hey, he started moving.
I was like, what is that?
Open the door. Open the door.
But it is starting to get hot in here though.
The AC's on.
Hold on, let me
It's about
crack this real quick. I can already feel the cold air.
yeah.
But what were we talking about? Marvel movies. If you were excited about all the Marvel movies coming out, I'm just gonna close this. I don't know if you could hear that, Rob. But anyways, yeah, like the new Doctor Strange. What were you saying? You were waiting for them to start popping off?
To pop off, to kind of start getting fired up again, introducing a lot more
Well,
people,
we
get
do
some more action.
mention it often. We all saw Morbius. You haven't seen Morbius yet?
No. The vampire?
Yeah. Don't plan on it.
Why?
Just wait.
Definitely wait till streaming.
It's just not good. It's weird. It's corny.
It's a before bed movie. Like you're falling asleep.
For sure. You could just throw it on, because the only reason to watch it is if you're a Marvel fan. That's the only reason to watch. But if you're just like not into the MCU, just don't bother. But obviously, you've seen every single one. Like,
Yeah.
how many times?
Yeah,
Like,
we mentioned multiple. This is a Marvel family. We've said that multiple times
yeah.
in this pod.
All we that's an event every time a big one comes out where we all like Endgame. Wait, was it Endgame or Endgame was when we all dispersed and we're like, we'll meet up.
We'll meet up
after.
Yeah, and I think it was Infinity War.
Infinity War. We talked about. That's the one
'Cause
you
you
couldn't see yet.
We
all saw
She
it.
was pregnant.
Yeah, because me and Lydia came back,
yeah.
and I was like, I can't say shit. And then you and Nate.
Or no, you weren't pregnant. You just had Max.
And then-
Because it's April 25th is his birthday.
So we saw. That means we saw that movie on April 28th because we saw it when he was like days old, not even a week old yet.
And so Menda had to stay. You saw it a day, like a certain day.
We saw the same day because you guys left that night.
That night.
We all saw it. We saw that one on
Because that was one of the days I was working at McDonald's, and I got off of work late, and then Rob was like, "We're gonna go see Infinity War,"
Like we have to go now though.
and I just got off work, and we went, and I was excited. Everybody was excited, and then we came home. Me and Rob, we say it often, pure silence, the whole drive home, and then the next morning. We wake up. I think me and Rob were sitting on the couch. You were coming downstairs, and you were like,
We all just stared at each other. We were like,
Some epic shit.
"It's like, what do you do with that after that?" Like,
it was.
I don't know where to go after this. Because you remember the build up, and then you're like, "Oh, y'all lost."
Yeah,
it was like Thor.
It was a superhero movie where you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they all died."
Because you think when Thor shows up, you're like, "It's over with now." You have a brand new hammer. You just took out half of the team.
Stormbreaker, yeah.
You hit him in the chest with it.
Oh yeah.
And he says one of the hardest lines.
You
in
should have
the movie.
went for the head.
You should have went for the head.
And then I remember, we saw Endgame. You guys saw it with, or it was who did you guys see with?
Sister was
your
here.
sister was here.
She flew in for that movie.
Oh, it was you guys, your sister, and Titi.
And Titi, yeah.
You saw it with Mom.
Yeah.
This was all the same night. You went to a certain theater, and I was with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I didn't want to look at her. I was like,
I saw it with a different girl. Sorry for talking to other girls before you. But anyways.
Let me help you with that. You and mom saw it. Then I saw it.
That should have been what you said. By myself, I saw it.
I saw
Not
it,
even that. I saw it.
And then
So we all saw it. Because you ain't lying.
but
Who'd you see it with?
That was a setup.
I
dude.
don't know, really.
yeah, I forgot. There was a no, but yeah, we all saw it. It was an event, and that's what I loved about it. Why I was so excited about it. It was like a holiday. It was something we've all been, because we all came off of Infinity War, came off of not Ragnarok, right? Are we good?
No, it was Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Before Infinity War.
Oh, Ragnarok was before Infinity War. Am I right? Endgame, then I forget.
No, it was Ragnarok, and then it was.
Oh, it was Black Panther, then Ragnarok, and then Infinity War.
It was
Yeah, because that's 2018, and then 2019 Endgame came out. What came out in 2019, Menda? Marvel movies. Because anyway, we were coming off of like, since Infinity War, we were like, what is gonna happen? Because it was, I don't know. Oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's what.
I'm gonna say there was movies in between those that made them connect together.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is what we were coming off of.
Because end of
Captain Marvel, we also were coming off of.
Captain Marvel was the Infinity War when that was the end of
Nick
War.
Fury.
Yeah.
You find out about Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And
Captain Marvel was 2019.
okay, yeah. Anything that came out in 2019 is what we were coming off of, because I remember going. Oh, that's why I brought it up. Is because Rob was saying Thanos said should aim for the head. I remember when I saw it in theater. I saw Endgame in theaters. You remember the opening scene? Thor chops his head off out of nowhere, and it was a completely silent. I can't believe no one else reacted. Because my exact words went just out of nowhere. Thor just, boom, just chops off Thanos' head. Out loud, I was like, oh shit. Like, out loud.
Oh, yeah. Because you're like, whoa, wait a minute. This is.
It was so.
We're done?
It
Because
was.
the music made you're like, You like check your watch. You're like, did I miss something? Like,
yeah,
did
it
I
was.
show up?
Yeah,
late?
was I late to this movie? Because
Yeah.
he just chops off his head, and he was like, "What did you do?" And he was like, "I aimed for the head." And I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
wait."
like, what did you do? Jesus, the movie's over with now. Dude. Who you gonna fight?
And I was like,
Yeah.
"What's gonna happen now?" And then they're like, "Time travel," and I was like, "Whoa!" It was a complete different ball game.
Yeah.
But now knowing that was just a setup for the multiverse.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
And then Endgame, what was your reaction? Iron Man dying, snapping.
Oh, horrible. It was like, I didn't see it coming.
Mm-mm.
But then again, I didn't know it was going to be like that. And it's like one of those things where you just like, okay, what a fucking, he's the man. Let me hear him. You know, and then you go into that funeral
The funeral
shit at the end, talking about how I want a cheeseburger and the whole kid shit.
The cheeseburger thing.
You know, and it's like,
Balling. I was literally crying in the theater. I was
Yeah,
crying.
and I'm
I was
like,
this is too much.
I was like, holy
See
shit.
everybody like.
I think also I started like playing all of the movies over in my head. I was like, I've been watching every single one of these movies for the past like 10 to 12
All of them in
years.
theaters. We've seen every single one in
That
theaters.
was the end of an era. You're like, oh, this is the end. Like, this is it. Like, you're never
Oh,
going to
yeah.
see these guys again.
Up until pandemic, we've seen every single Marvel movie in theaters. It was, and then you see,
That's why I have to say, like, the shit coming out, I know it's fresh again, but it's so hard to be impressed.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, you got to, like, dig out 3 decades of fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Too.
Just to
Kind of, but at the same time, it, like you said, the multiverse, it starts making sense.
but now
But you're like, oh,
Because you know they're doing, because we're excited for Blade. They're redoing Blade.
Mm-hmm. Are you watching the TV shows, the Moon Knight and WandaVision? Moon Knight's actually
we saw
really
WandaVision.
good.
We watched WandaVision.
I watched WandaVision, Loki.
You watched the first 3 series.
Those actually is probably the ones that matter the most because that's what's going to make the movies make sense.
I saw Loki.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I
I watched that.
That's the
I
one,
like that.
A lot of people didn't. I liked it.
That's the only one I
thought
didn't
it
watch.
was, got normal.
Yes, that's what I liked about it. I was like, oh, they're not like
They're not fucking- they're-
superpowered, but they're not like it's not a universe level threat. They're just fighting a person who wants to like blow shit up. That's
Yeah.
what they're fighting.
And they're gonna do years. So we don't even know a release date, but the Fantastic Four.
No, we're talking about like 5
Again?
years at least.
They're gonna bring in part of the MCU. They're gonna do
Oh,
Fantastic Four. Same thing with Blade.
They're gonna do it right this time. Is what we're saying.
I don't know. I'm kind of. You can't sell me on the Blade. I was
Because
there
it
for
was too good for
Wesley Snipes. I mean,
said the same thing
I
at
cannot
first.
sit there and watch Blade, even though what's his name?
Ryan
Mahershala.
Reynolds.
Yeah, he'll probably kill it.
Yeah.
It'll probably be but you just.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Blade Trinity. I said Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, you did. No, Mahershala Ali. Yeah.
Oh, Ryan
It-
Mahershala Ali doing it now.
It's just like I'll eat it, but I'm not gonna like it. I just can't.
I've learned that a lot of these like remakes are gonna be like Mahershala's gonna be Roman and Maxwell's Blade. Like they're gonna be like Wesley Snipes. Like who is that?
Who-
Like LeBron James.
Like exactly, because when Maxwell says Space Jam inside the Roku mic, he's like, "What's that Space Jam?" He just knows LeBron James. He doesn't know
That's
who
crazy.
Michael Jordan is. He's like, I don't care about that. He thinks it's boring. He doesn't like it. He does.
I remember you. Do you remember you showed me Space Jam when I was little,
Oh yeah.
and I was so like, what? This is crazy. And you could rent. We had like the Cox on demand when you could
Yeah.
rent it for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, can we rent it, please? Like I really wanted to see it so bad. And I remember the part I loved. It was my favorite part of the original Space Jam was when Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd came out with the guns. They did the Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I died laughing every time. That's the funniest.
Funniest.
I
Yeah.
love that part because they just come out with guns in the middle of a basketball game. I thought it was the funniest thing ever, and I would rewind it a million times. But like the fact that Max is like LeBron James is Space Jam.
That's his. Exactly.
That's so crazy to
Got
me.
the sheets. He plays basketball now every day.
Even those like Happy Meal toys, he still
But
has them.
you know what? I think that's the way it should be.
I think that also.
You know,
agree.
Max Roman got LeBron. You guys,
Kobe.
I was Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it
Are we
it's
talking
just,
sports now?
I think the fight's over. You know, Kobe, R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He's been
LeBron,
ascended. Yeah.
and I don't think LeBron will ever reach. I think it's too late. I mean, Kobe passing, and just that
He'll be
alone-
number 3 in the GOAT talk.
Always.
Yeah, always, ever. I mean, that's just. I mean, it's like, God damn, the
Yeah.
dude went and this happened.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Kobe passing definitely added to Kobe's legacy and brought everybody else down way
Yeah.
more.
That's just the truth of it all. When somebody passes, they automatically like,
'Cause
especially
it's-
when they're young. It wasn't like Kobe was.
He wasn't.
70.
He wasn't. It wasn't natural causes. It
Yeah,
was like
it was-
tragic.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
was
like you're tragically gone, and then
And we were.
I'd hate to be
we
LeBron.
Loved you. We loved you after
Everybody
post
loved-
NBA. We were like, oh, this is Kobe.
It wasn't like Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's
made
terrible.
a documentary.
terrible.
But
But no, I do like. I think the remakes are going to be like. That's what's going to be for Max and Roman.
mhm.
A lot of those, because I mean, even Fantastic Four, that's like me and Nate's. Like that's going to be ours.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, you guys had that
Then-
terrible Fantastic.
and that's
Four.
when we
Like,
were
Yeah.
to the point
There
where
were 2 of them.
to the point we were like, oh, Human Torch, Captain America, like how are they gonna do it? We were
Yeah, that's-
confused.
We
That's
just
an-
ignored it. We were just like, they were like, yeah, that
On
doesn't.
top of X-Men.
X-Men, all of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And something we bring up often was that X-Men Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Is it X-Men Origins or X-Men Wolverine? Or it's X-Men Origins.
X-Men Origins, because they were supposed to be doing like a series of movies, supposed to be
Oh,
like
Wolverine was the cool one.
Wolverine was when he was a ninja. X-Men Origins Wolverine is when he.
They made like 3 Wolverine movies.
Yes, they did. They were dry. That's why he was like, I'm never putting those claws on ever again. They wore him.
And Logan was the last one.
Logan was the last one.
And Logan was the best one.
The best one.
Logan was great.
The very best
we
one.
watched it, remember when I bought the Blu-ray and we watched it in black and white? They made like a black and white version of Logan.
Yeah.
And that.
Why is that? Just a side note.
It's for people like Nate. Because I tried to watch Justice is Gray. I said, nope, can't do it. I got like 3 minutes into the movie. I
Are
said,
you serious?
Can't fucking do it.
You could not watch?
No, the black and white version of it. I love the Snyder cut version of Justice League, but the black and white one, I can't watch.
Oh no, that shit's epic.
I can't watch the black and white.
I think it just sets
That's what it does to Logan.
like a mood.
That's exactly what it does to Logan. I've only seen it in black and white. Because before that, I never seen Logan until like I got the Blu-ray and I saw like, oh, black and white, and then played it. I've only seen Logan in black and white. So like that tone, that atmosphere that it has,
like constant dark.
That's all I know,
you know,
from Logan.
Is
for Justice League, yeah. Justice League makes more sense for that.
Well, let me ask you this: did you ever watch Mad Max? What is it? The Chrome edition?
Oh, the Chrome and Black.
The Chrome and Black.
Yeah,
it's Mad Max Fury Road in black and white.
So good.
Oh, great.
I don't think he liked Fury Road. You told me you didn't like it.
It was something. I don't think I liked it better than Mel Gibson.
Oh, like Beyond Thunderdome?
Yeah.
Beyond Thunderdome, you showed me as a kid too. We actually saw Fury Road in theaters.
It reminded me of Ghost Rider. That's why I didn't. A lot of the shots that they did where they were like zoom in on his face, or they would do certain things. I was like, it's very Ghost Rider-esque in the shots. I didn't like that.
I loved it. Because we saw it in theaters. I never seen any of the originals. And then, but we had them on DVD. We had Beyond Thunderdome on DVD. And we went home and you put on Beyond Thunderdome when we got home from seeing Fury Road. And I was like, there's originals? And I remember...
It's what we're talking about. You had no idea.
And I remember seeing...
Gibson,
and as far as like... And that one died. I say we just... I want to keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
But I remember you showed me... One of the first times I remember seeing an original... And then they made a remake. It was a point in time where the oldest movie I ever seen was Red Dawn.
Excellent.
And I remember that was the first quote unquote old movie I've ever seen. And I was like, Red Dawn is sick. Red Dawn is one of the coolest movies ever. There we go. Red Dawn is like one of the coolest movies I've ever seen at one point in my life. It was my favorite movie. And then they made like a remake when stuff was popping off with Korea.
Yeah.
And then they made like a Korean remake. Are we good?
No, yeah, y'all keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying if I can fix this.
And I remember watching it, and we moved in the day we moved into that apartment on Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
That day we moved in, we were sleeping there for the first night. Me and Titi laid down and we watched Red Dawn. And it was just, I remember being in love with that movie and then seeing a remake. I was like, oh, remakes are a thing. That's kind of the first time I knew like there were remakes. And also the same thing with Gone in 60 Seconds. Like learning that was a remake. And it was just like, it was a whole new world. Like just finding out.
All the Ocean's movies.
Yeah. Never knew that.
Yeah.
Until way later.
Yeah, I just found that out this year that those were remakes.
Yeah.
Or last year when you told me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know. Just the fact that there are remakes and how much of an impact they do have as far as, seeing Max being like LeBron James. LeBron James? Yeah. But, anyways. What are some remakes that you were like, why are they doing that? All of them?
No.
Because let me ask, here's a better question. What are some movies that you think should be like 3 to 5 movies or however many you can name that you think are untouchable? Like, don't do that. Don't ever. Like, what are some movies where you're like classics that you're just like, don't ever touch that? What's one movie that comes to your mind?
Blade.
I'm like 50-50 with you because there's a part of me that's like, after watching Morbius, I said, they're going to fuck this
Yeah,
up.
hopefully Blade isn't Sony.
I hope it's not.
Because Sony is the one that did Morbius and Venom. And what did you think? You liked
How
Venom.
did you like Venom?
I thought it was corny. You couldn't sell
Both of
me.
them?
You couldn't give me Tom Hardy.
I agree.
In those movies.
I agree.
I think he should have been a better superhero or better villain.
Yeah.
He should have been someone else.
Definitely somebody else.
Because Tom Hardy's too cool to be in a movie like that, I feel like. Or honestly, on paper, Tom Hardy as Venom sounds pretty cool.
I think he's just a draw. He's going to make you come watch the movie.
I think that's what it is, where you're like, oh, Tom Hardy's playing Venom, but then you see the movie and you're like, oh, come on.
And the movie, just the writing was kind of...
It just wasn't that cool. It was corny.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Right.
It was corny.
Absolutely corny, yeah.
But I think one of the movies that is untouchable is Scarface. That should be a movie that's like not going.
I don't think they ever. You're right. I mean, that's.
Oh no, I think that's already in the works. They're talking about.
I heard a rumor
that they're talking about like doing it all over again.
Michael B. Jordan.
That's what I heard. I
He's
was
gonna
like,
be
like
Cuban.
a darker skinned people in the movie.
I just don't think you can. I mean, leave it alone.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
You can't touch
If you want to make a Scarface movie, make a Scarface movie.
There's not a second one or a
go
remake.
right ahead.
Yeah,
but don't try to like put Scarface on it. Don't sell it as a remake.
Just, that movie is too iconic. You can't deliver those
like if you were to make
Scarface,
say if there's a Scarface remake, there should be. Do you agree? There should be no even reference to Say Hello to My Little Friend.
Yeah, leave all that shit alone.
You should never say that. If there is,
but nobody's gonna buy it.
Never
Who's
say
gonna
that.
buy it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna print new T-shirts?
Yeah.
I literally have a Scarface poster.
Yeah.
They probably still make millions of dollars a year off.
Well,
of
I was a little
fucking Parking Swap.
I was a little kid.
Every
Since I was a
it's
little
everywhere,
kid, I
man.
had that Scarface poster you bought me when I was little. It's just Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. He's holding like the grenade launcher. And yeah, I remember hearing Scarface like years ago. I remember telling you guys like, hey, they're thinking about remaking.
See, but I don't know how far you can go, because if you're gonna take Scarface, okay, what are you gonna do? You got Carlito's Way. I mean, that's
pretty.
I mean, there's only so much you could do. But if you want to take that format and that
story,
vibe and story, just don't call it Scarface.
Yeah.
Just come up with something.
That's actually true. Just
I
do
say
what
that
everybody else does.
Yeah, because if you're gonna like change it so much.
Because I would be like, fuck yeah, that was like Scarface. That shit was
great.
Yeah, see, that's a better that was like Scarface.
It's better to use it as an inspiration, like an influence, rather than just a blatant remake. Because that's why the guys. You remember that movie 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte?
Oh yeah, Sons of Driving.
Great movie. Love that movie. My favorite directors are the Safdie brothers, the guys who made Good Time and Uncut Gems.
What else do they make?
That's it.
Just those two?
Yeah. Or they made movies before, but they're nothing like Good Time and Uncut Gems. But like you know that poster in my room, Heaven Knows What?
Yeah.
That they made that movie. And but they were rumored, this was years ago, they were rumored to remake 48 Hours. But what happened was that they would write these scripts and they were just like, we're just coming up with different movies. Like they're not, because they're just using 48 Hours as an influence. They're not even remaking it anymore. So they were like, we're just not even going to do it because it's not even 48 hours anymore, you know? Yeah. So that's why it's like, if you're going to
like 48 hour ish,
any ish
49 hours.
It's hard to be like, I think we've talked about it on the pod. It's like, after, especially now with streaming, it's going to be very difficult to be original. So it's like, it's nothing wrong with being like something. Just don't remake it.
Because there's been so many movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to.
With Amazon and Apple now in the game, there's no way.
And people like studios like A24 giving these people with original scripts. Like, you're just going to get more and more stories that are just going to be made.
Yeah.
And speaking of A24, we just saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that movie
redeemed it. They redeemed
that movie's
again.
Great. Do you remember?
You saw it?
Yeah, we just saw it today. Just before
was it good?
It was great. It's really good because we've saw on Letterboxd. Letterboxd is this app. It's kind of like IMDb, but it's like more like user friendly. Like you can actually go on.
Yeah, like more social media based. Yeah,
and like they have a ranking of like the highest rated movies on there, and like there's like a top 250 list. Number 1 used to be Parasite, the Korean movie. Never seen it.
No.
Me and Mom
it's
watched
actually
it.
a really good movie.
It's
I
really
like
good.
It, yeah.
But Parasite was number 1 since it came out. But now this movie is the highest rated movie.
Wow.
And it's just getting crazy reviews. And I went in, I was like, what is it? I was like, is it gonna? And then, yes, it's that good. It's like, it really makes you think. It's crazy. It's like 2001: A Space Odyssey meets like Police Story with Jackie Chan. Like and The Matrix and Doctor Strange. Like it
looks like it.
It's literally
It looks
we were
like,
saying
it looks chaotic.
We were literally saying like it's literally everything everywhere.
It looks like
all
it gives me like a Crank vibe, like this very like we're here,
There's
we're here.
scenes-
We have to do this. We have to do this.
There's sequences like that where it gives you like an idea of like how many universes there are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good at setting up the rules. You know what I mean? Explaining like how you switch, and also it's hilarious.
Oh, okay. I'm in for that.
It's so.
I heard it's funny. Yeah.
It's so funny.
You could tell it wasn't serious. I'm like, it looks serious in the sense of like it looks like there's action, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. It looks fun.
It literally, because we were driving home and we're like, it checks every box. You're like, it's funny, great action, great story. It gets you emotional. I was about to cry. I think she cried. It gets you. It gets you right here, and it's awesome. And I remember watching the trailer with you,
Yeah, that was
and you were like, "Wow, it's the first movie A24 is making."
karate.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's literally like you're watching like one of those old like Shaw Brothers like Wu-Tang kung fu movies.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the vibe of that too,
Yeah.
like Ip Man.
I love it, man.
It,
And the
it's
third one where he fights Mike Tyson.
it's a great movie. Should
So let me
definitely
ask
see
you
it.
guys this, just since we're throwing quick, is there a movie out now that you think, okay, this movie right now, I could have watched it in 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s, or now, that it's just that
Timeless.
a timeless movie that you could have, it could have came out in 1978 and you would have been like, shit, you see this fucking movie?
Uncut Gems.
I feel like that would be a good movie in the 80s, 90s, or 2000s.
Because it's timeless.
Because if they did it in like a 2000s style, like maybe like Bad Boys 1 type of, like Bad Boys 1 type of style, I would still like it.
Bad Boys, I just bought that on Blu-ray. I'm gonna watch it.
Like early Michael Bay, like that's back when I don't know what you call that shot. Remember they used to do the shots in the early 2000s where it's like blurry. It's like this slow motion, like long exposure shot where it's kind of like shaky and it's like, and they do like car noises and shit. Like I feel like that movie would still be good, and even in that format, because that was super heavy in the early 2000s.
Yeah, where it's just like going all out
just
action.
craziness. Like the
Bad
beginning
Boys-
of Blade 2 or something like that.
Blade is definitely like that. Blade
Yes.
2, yes.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, now it's corny. But for the time, everybody was like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
crazy. But Uncut Gems, I do think it's a timeless movie. Because it's gambling. Gambling has been around forever. Basketball has been around forever.
Yeah.
There's barely any use of phones. But even when they are using phones, it's still like, that could be realistic in the 70s. You know what I mean?
I think John Wick.
Yes.
I mean, take it back to 1976.
Seeing
and
a
John
movie
Wick
like
with
that?
bell bottoms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exploitation film or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That'd be, I couldn't imagine. That'd be too much. That'd be like, what do you call that when you feel everything like
Yeah.
overstimulating?
Overstimulating.
I feel like that would be watching John Wick in the 70s. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a classic, simple.
Yeah.
It's one of the, I'll say it is like the
A simple-
action movie of the decade. One of the best
Yeah.
action movies ever. It's crazy. and they're making like a fourth, or is there already a fourth?
I think there's.
That fourth one's on the way already.
Yeah.
But they postponed it to what, 2023?
Yeah.
But
this is the one about the Assassin's Guild this time. Like, he's actually going to, the people who run the whole thing, I think he's going up against them this time.
The table.
The
high table.
That high table, that's what they're called. I love John Wick.
It's
1,
so
2,
cool.
and 3. The book scene, when he takes the book and it's just like, wham, you're like, oh, okay.
I mean, if you watch it it's the whole fucking story.
The story is good, too. A dog started this.
Yes.
a dog.
But it wasn't the dog, though.
It was actually his wife.
You killed my wife's gift to me and she died. Bitch, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
But then it's like where he
Where he just gets the sledgehammer.
It's not like you
just
go
gets all his
and
guns
smack the shit and rough this kid up or
No.
whatever the fuck. It's what he has to.
He knows who this kid is.
But it's what he has to do
to make that
to just go whoop this kid's ass for what he did.
Yeah. My favorite scene in that movie is when the cop shows up. He's like, everything all right, Mr. Wick?
Yes.
Yeah,
And he knows.
Yeah.
You're working again, John?
Yeah. He was like, you're back to work? He's like, all right, see you
Crazy.
later.
And that dude from Breaking Bad that like cleans up, he's the cleaner.
Yeah.
The everything about it. And I think that's what it is in John Wick, Keanu Reeves doesn't have to, it's not the things he does that make you like respect him and see him that way. It's how other people treat him.
Exactly.
And talk about him.
Everyone's terrified of him. The high table.
It's when you hear other people talk about John Wick, you're like, oh, John Wick.
But the third one kind of gets him. The third one kind of pits him against like other John Wicks though. That's why I like the third one. It's like he's really giving him.
Well, you know how it goes. You know the boogeyman?
Yeah.
He's the one you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman.
I saw him kill people with a pencil. And then he kills the dude with the pencil later on in the movie.
It's
he
definitely
slams his head on there.
Like, I'm glad because it's just original and it's not trying to be something it's not. It's like an action movie.
And it's like a classic. Anything with Russians. I'm about it.
You're right. Red Dawn with the
Red
Russians.
Dawn, for sure.
But Russian one was way better. I love anything with Russians in it.
Crazy Swayze.
I mean, we need to reel that shit back right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But
Mine would be Harry Potter.
Don't
Or
touch Harry
Pirates
Potter.
of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean at any time?
Yeah.
I would say so.
That could be a thing. I could see Pirates of the Caribbean.
Because you had the
80s?
Yeah, you had the Goonies.
I could definitely see.
I'd only see 80s and above, maybe.
I
70s.
could.
No.
70s for sure.
No.
I think you could.
I think if you.
No,
get,
I agree.
I
think you could. I don't know if you get away without CGI. Take the story
No, I say like
in the movie and put it. I think you could pull it
like
off.
the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You could definitely get that one, and do that in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, because there was movies like
About pirates.
yeah.
And you know Harry Potter, you could take that shit back to fucking 1832, and I think you're all right.
Yeah.
I think that
Sam Elliott.
I think it's hard for me to
Fucking
I think it's hard
Dumbledore.
for me to separate the effects from those movies because I mean those effects are like award winning.
But I think
next
like adding to
level.
that, like kind of like the Green Knight, like the way that like all practical, like you have like a medieval knight on a quest movie,
Yeah.
and it's like
That's
oh,
different,
that's
yeah. I can
timeless.
see that,
You can
yeah.
make that in the 60s, 70s,
60s,
80s.
yeah.
But if you were to make Pirates of the Caribbean no CGI, all practical, it would add to the grandiose of it, I guess. I don't know, like seeing that done, I guess, and kind of like John Wick. Like if you were to see that in the 60s or 70s, you would be like, whoa, like
yeah.
how did you make this? It'd be crazy.
Yeah. But I think what she means is I think you could actually take that whole story, the whole thing, just transplant in what you're working with
Yeah, exactly.
back then, and you could pull it off.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Especially Harry Potter.
Harry Potter I can see. Pirates is hard for me to
Mm-hmm.
Cause when I think since I have a fear of the ocean and those shots of them in the middle of the ocean, you're like, oh, these motherfuckers are like
In the ocean.
pirates.
Yeah.
Like they're real pirates. Like when they go he's stranded on the island or the waves are coming or any of that craziness.
And that's
is
why
happening.
I like Christopher Nolan movies, the zero CGI, like in Tenet. when they crashed the plane in the Freeport. Like they really crashed that. That's no CGI. They crashed a plane, and you're just like, oh my god, this is crazy. And you can like, it's crazy. Like what he does in The Dark Knight when the Joker's like, hit me, and the diesel flips over. You're like, that diesel really flipped over. Like it's seeing that stuff actually done is insane.
They're probably like, when we give you this budget, this movie, because they flew that was a 747.
Yeah, into a Freeport.
We're talking about minimum $1 million worth of time to fix that.
Yeah.
After he did that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it probably had to be like already decommissioned.
Had something like that, something.
For it to be like, oh, let's blow it up.
'Cause I didn't know that. I didn't know that was all practical. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
every Christopher Nolan movie is.
I know, like Tarantino, that makes sense for me because none of his stunts are ever like on that level. A diesel truck flipping over, like holy shit.
I mean, Tarantino, he made a movie about stunt women. Like Death Proof is Stuntman Mike.
Yeah,
Like Death Proof is crazy.
Yeah,
like it is like underrated.
but flipping a diesel truck.
Yeah.
You're talking about like mathematicians are probably doing stuff like the team. Of
I mean,
people
obviously,
that takes-
Interstellar is obviously CGI, but Interstellar is a great movie.
Some CGI isn't like.
But
Thanos.
that's like CGI.
Like Thanos is like the best CGI that's ever existed.
And that's why like Marvel is so cool because it's like you can see the amount of detail. Like it's not bad
like
CGI.
we know it's CGI, but I don't care. Like like
Shang-Chi. I got Shang-Chi. That's how I felt.
Pacific Rim CGI with the robots and how
that was super realistic.
Their ankles would move or how
and they were moving slow.
Move.
They were like boom.
That CGI was
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
We're at 140, and
140.
These two, they're not like us.
Oh yeah. You're how are you feeling? Are you tired?
I'm always tired.
We should wrap this up.
I've been up since
because camera's dead too.
Yeah.
3 this morning.
Yeah, I've been up since 4.
I've been up since like 11.
12 o'clock.
This is my life.
3, 4, and 6.
Today's my day off.
That makes sense.
I work every other day.
Oh, there you go.
This is perfect for us though, because it's a week of time in between each episode. It's cool.
Waiting for Easter Day.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. This is coming out after Easter. But
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter. So are we
He
good?
is risen.
That's none of this really matters.
With Big
Well,
Chris.
I need you. This is what I want. I want him to say. I want to add this to the intro. I want it to be Dad saying, "None of this really matters," in like a cool way. You have to say, "None of this really matters," or whatever you want to say it. I want you to say it so Rob can like edit it and add like echo, and it'll be like, "None of this really."
You want to like add like a Brilliant Idiots at the end?
I don't listen to Brilliant Idiots. But how does it go?
It's just like Brilliant Idiots, and then it like that's the end of the.
That's like the
beginning intro. That's like it trails off and then it goes into the podcast.
Yeah, I want it like that.
Okay.
But if you could say it, you could say it 4 times if you want. But if you could just say the words, "None of this really matters," for Rob. Ready? Go.
The words, "None of this really matters," for Rob. Is that what you want?
Will that work, Rob?
No.
I was like, I could chop out the first 2 words. I could chop, but it didn't sound cool though. We needed it to sound cool. None of this really matters.
Just say it however you want. However you want. It's going to be on the intro.
So it's straight up, none of this really matters?
Yeah.
That's exactly like that.
Because none of this really matters.
Yes. That's it.
That's it.
That's
we got
it. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Because that's going to be on the I want that to be on the intro.
That was perfect. I
of
can
every
hear it
episode.
already.
All right.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, lit.
We got it.
Gracias.
We'll cut you the check later.
Peace.
Yeah, 13
Peace.
cents.
Peace to the LPs and the
Great way to end it.
the
yeah.
other faces. Oh, hold on. Shout out from my crew watching the door. Max, aka Double Tap. Roman, aka Rome.
Only my homeboys call me
Zobo,
Rome.
on my own way, and Zobo, aka Zobo Baggins.
Yeah.
Zobo Baggins. All right. I think this was a great episode.
It was perfect.
This is
Loved
one of
it.
our best.
Yeah.
I feel like.
For sure.
It's getting hot in here, and we should wrap it up.
Gotta go.
Peace. All right.